Are you stuck? What about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for 30-minute moments as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. It's time to celebrate that life with 30-minute moments.
Welcome to 30-Minute Moments. I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and as you know, we are all for ease and betterment in your life. And I am a soul nurturer and founder of soulmanifesto.com. It is truly a wonderful community of growth and sharing and also fun. So I invite you to check out soulmanifesto.com to learn about one free program that I have going right now that's only 3 hour long, 3 days. And then I also have workshops and a fabulous event coming up November 2nd. So take a look. And also, if you're listening to 30-Minute Moments and you have questions, especially today is Ask Alena Day. But if you have questions on any of the shows, be sure to text 46862 and put Alena. You type Alena, A-L-E-N-A, and let me know your question. And shows like Ask Alena that I do once a month, I will talk about that. And today we have some questions that I just love. And boy, you know what? I love these questions. I love questions that have me really think. So you're not only really thinking, I'm really thinking, which I think is the best thing for everything. So I'm going to start with this one question, which I found very interesting. Alena, do you believe in God as the Messiah? Explain your Christianity. I like that because you talk about God a lot, but also spirituality. I see. Okay, when I read this, I wasn't clear, but now I get it. Okay. All right. Very interesting question. And whoever wrote this, I'm so glad you're listening and you're paying very good attention. So let's talk about this, okay? All right. I grew up religious and spiritual. And even when I was in music, I taught music in almost every religion. There are a few I did not. Almost every religion, I taught choir and bells and instruments and everything. And so I always found God in every church I went to. And that was more of my spirituality. I did not get caught up into the dogmas of everyone's belief, the man-made laws, but I could always find God. Now, so it's kind of mixed. Religion, I always feel, has a lot of man-made beliefs also in it, and those are fine. I tell people, and I tell my kids, when you grow up, you need to find what works for you, because the most important thing in this world, or out of this world, is to have that connection with God or a higher source of whatever you call God. And that is the most important thing. And everything else is a tool to get there. So, but you did ask about Messiah. And if you look up the definition of Messiah, and we used to sing it, King of Kings, a Messiah is the anointed one and the king. Now, and I grew up with that, and it's not very far off of that. I don't necessarily think of king anymore, though. I think of more of God is everything. Everything. God is omnipotent, and that means absolutely everywhere. And it's pure, God is pure unconditional love and pure joy and pure peace. And God is everything. So I even think of God as higher than kings. I hope that answers your question. So that's more of where I am with God. But where you are with God, or whatever you call higher source, that's okay. That's all right. It's just what brings you the closest to it. I hope that answers your question. Nothing is wrong if it helps you to get closer to God and brings more peace and love to the world. Nothing is wrong. So I think I love your question. I love it. And I hope that helps others out there who are listening and thinking, where are you, Alena, on this? And I hope that helps. And if you have another question and I did not answer that correctly, please feel free to send it in, okay? And again, it's 46862, okay? All right, thank you. Now, let's get back to another question. Alena, can you define failure? And then explain how to overcome it. Oh boy, can I do this. All right, failure. Now, there's no such thing as failure. We're on this magnificent journey of life. It's a magnificent journey. And even with the trials and the challenges and what some of us deem as failures, but I'll tell you what, it's all part of the journey, and that's why it's not a failure. And how can you make it not a failure? The best way is that you learn from it. And I'm not saying, oh, I'll never do that again. No, not that kind of learning from it. I mean, take time. Take time to get into your own sacred space, your own calm space. No worry, doubt, and fear will enter there. You sit and you really just start to get quiet and think to yourself, okay, why did I get myself into this? And what was the lesson for me? And once you learn that lesson, you won't ever make that mistake again. And notice I didn't say failure. And I don't care what it is. It can be a failed marriage if you think, and I hate the word failed marriage, a marriage that didn't hold, or a business that didn't go on. Those are not failures. They're all mistakes. There's nothing that says that you can't get married again. There's nothing that says you can't open another business. But you don't want to bring the baggage of what didn't work in the last into the life, you're forward into your life. So the best way not to bring that baggage is to learn from it. And then that so-called failure is one great lesson that helps you to enrich your life. And that's the whole reason why you went through it in the beginning. So there is no failure. Okay? I hope that helps you. And that is a very big question. A lot of people wonder that. So I'm glad you brought it up. Thank you. And then we have a third question. Today we have 4 questions. So, hello to you too. What is the difference between intuition and spiritual guidance, or are they the same thing? Fun question. Okay, this is important and good for you. You're listening to yourself. All right, there are gifts of the Spirit. And I learned this a long time ago, and I love it. Let me see if I remember all 6 for you. There are 6 gifts of the Spirit, and one of them is intuition. Of course, our body is one of, when it's in tune, it tells us, like when you walk into a situation that isn't good for you, my stomach will tighten. You know, when I know it's going to be a hard situation and I have a choice, I can either leave or I can think about how am I going to get through this, or how am I going to present myself in this? Okay. So it's a warning. So intuition, imagination, perception, reasoning, memory, and the will. Those are 6 gifts, and all the gifts work together to bring more fulfillment to your life. And those are gifts for us to use. And how often are we told to stop daydreaming? And what is that? Imagination. What's visualization? Imagination. It's activating the imagination, which is an amazing thing. You will never imagine something that you can't do. So just think about that. That's mind-blowing in itself. All these wonderful gifts we have. So that intuition that you are listening to, that is a gift of the Spirit, and it's opening you up to more. So start using those gifts. And I'm hoping that you are, with this, you're starting to look for spiritual guidance. And you really should get yourself, find yourself a beautiful place that you like to sit without the worry, doubt, and fear. I call it a sacred space. And start to go into meditation and start listening. Start listening. Or go out into nature and start listening. It's funny. I went out to my favorite sacred space just yesterday. And it's by this old monastery, and they have a beautiful nature. And I went and I sat, and I went into really a deep meditation. I must have needed it. And when I woke up, a groundhog was sitting next to me. I love how nature connects. But that's a gift. That's guidance. It means that it's saying, Alena, we are all here. We're listening. Isn't that cool? All right. That's a fantastic question. You guys are very good. I love the questions that are coming in. So really do keep them coming, because these are fun. These are really, really fun. And that's why I'm here, is to help give clarity. Even if you don't like it, that's all right. You have your opinion. I'm all right with that. But at least it gives you something. And some people it may help. If you have questions, make sure you text 46862. All right. And so when I don't want to start on something new. So what I'm going to do right this moment is say that, if you are interested in looking into more spiritual, you should really look into soulmanifestos.com. And I'm not trying to sell. I'm just saying that's why I have it there. It's so that people who have, want to start connecting and want to start seeing the signs and want to understand failure and how that really works in the spiritual way, which is not failure at all. Soulmanifesto.com, that's why I started it. All right? So this is 30-Minute Moments. This is Ask Alena, and I'm your host, Alena, and we will be back in just a second.
You're listening to 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you discover your true purpose on WOWO and at WOWO.com.
Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments. I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and today is Ask Alena. And so we answered 3 questions, and I'm really thrilled with all of these questions. I'm really thrilled that you are listening and really starting to think. And most importantly, that's why I'm here, to help. So there was one that came on the last time on Ask Alena. It came on Facebook, actually. And so I want to address it because it should help a lot of people out there. And I'm paraphrasing the question. Basically, what she was asking is that as a single mom with little kids, and she has a little girl, and I think her little girl is around 3 or 4, and it's her life, but she wants to start dating. She wants to bring that special someone into her life. And she said, how do I do that with a little girl who still thinks that her daddy and mommy should get back together? Oh boy. Yeah, that's hard. And I would say it's a very slow process. It doesn't mean that you can't date. I think that anytime we cut ourselves off of something that we really want, and also connection with others, we need that adult connection, and we need to have that person in our life if we want to have that person in our life. So, but I do think that introducing it to your to this person, to your daughter, that would be not a good idea. She still has the fairy tale, and that's the key right there. She still has the fairy tale of you and daddy getting back together. So I know you know that you're not, and I know he knows that, but the little girl doesn't think that. And it's not right to crash that for her. All right? I think you're already doing this, but I would make her world totally secure and wonderful and safe. And how do you do that? By helping her to make some decisions with you. I used to always sneak little notes and cookies if they had a test, or little cookies or notes or treats or something if I knew they were going to have a hard day. I always talked about we were going to be a strong, wonderful family together. I did this to form a safety, that they knew they were safe and secure. And then after that, if you want to date, I would still keep that separate for a little while. Now, say you start getting really serious with a man. If you are getting serious with a man and you're thinking of marriage, then I would not introduce him as a potential husband, but more as integrating it very slowly as a friend who's helping, and let that relationship grow. Nothing is going to happen fast right now, but you also don't have to go without. Okay? And I hope that helps your question. The most important thing is that this little girl feels safe, and eventually she will see that daddy and mommy are not getting back together. Just give her time. She's very young. She still is in the Disney Cinderella syndrome and Snow White, and everything has a happy ending, and her happy ending is you two together. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. I hope that helps. And if you have any other question, let me know. I do want to talk a little bit about, oh, by the way, that was 4 questions. Guys, I tell you, incredible 4 questions. Whoops, this way. Oh, 4 questions. What is this? And also, guys, I am talking about fear, because when we have fear, for instance, of dating a man, fear of opening a business, fear of, going back to school, fear of meeting up with a new crowd. Gosh, people are afraid of I'm amazed sometimes of what people are afraid of. I mean, the stuff just blows my mind. I had someone that actually said they were afraid of meditation. Well, that's only getting quiet. I mean, I did talk about on ABC ways to get rid of fear. And I did this last week. It was ABC Digital. I'm trying to remember the name of the show. Isn't that awful? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm on. If you put in Alena Chapman, ABC, I'm on there. But I do want to bring that to you here now, because fear is not real. I know you're going to love that. Fear is not real. It is man-made. Stress is man-made. Now, of course, and I live without fear in a lot of ways. Now, say there was a fire in the house. Would I have fear? My mind would suddenly click into, okay, what do? I need to get everyone out of the house. I don't know if that real debilitating fear would hit me. I don't think so, because it never has before. I got lost on a mountain when I was 10. I didn't have fear. I thought, okay, what did my dad teach me? We got to get through this. Because my dad always taught me, you panic, you die. That really kind of took care of that fear. I know that in a crisis, you do not panic. That's just not an option. And I taught that to my kids. When my one kid started to panic because we got lost on a river, and we were kayaking, and we got off on the wrong one, and he was 7 years old, and he started to panic. And I said, okay, you got to deep breathe. And I said, James, we're going to get out of this. Don't you worry at all. I said, honey, if you panic, then we're done for. Sort of like my dad. And he has never panicked since, because he saw we got out of it. Fear is something that you have to look at in a real way. And you really have to take it and say, is this justified? Why am I so fearful? And then if you are about to do something, watch the ABC, because I gave you 2 ways. I'll give you one right now, but you got to do them together. But the one I always say, when you're about to do it, you're about to take action. You take your hand and you say, worry, doubt, or fear shall not enter here. And you push that energy up onto a shelf. And when you push that energy up on a shelf, it stays there, and then you can take the action. There is one step that you do before this. I don't have time on the show to tell you today, but please watch the ABC online and find it out. But you do those 2 things with, pushing that worry, doubt, and fear so you can take the action, but you got to build the confidence before, and that's the first step. And together, you'll be able to accomplish whatever it is that you're so fearful. I am so happy to have you, and I love your questions, and I love being here and being able to answer these questions. So if you have more questions, please do text that 46862. And check out Soul Manifesto, especially for those who want to grow in their spirituality. And you can be religious and still grow in your spirituality. I did it for years. So with this show, I think we've covered a lot of very, very cool things. And I do think there are some fantastic gems. I want to really make sure that all of you really feel free to text 46862 if you have a question on anything, and check out Soul Manifesto. You might find that you really like it. This is 30-Minute Moments. This is Ask Alena, and I'm your host, Alena, and we will be back in just a second.
This is 30-Minute Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find your inner self every Sunday on WOWO.
Hi, I'm Alena Chapman, and I'm your host for 30-Minute Moments and all that ease and betterment in the life we bring. So I have a question for you. Do you feel you deserve all that betterment and ease in your life? Also, do you feel you must struggle? Or do you feel stuck in the muck? Or you may even just want that peace and happiness and balance in your life. I want to first thank everyone who has chosen to chat with me, and oh my gosh, you are so awesome people, and because of the wonderful response, I have decided to open up more of my calendar to all of you because I love you. And I'll tell you what, all you have to do is text 41411 and type in Meet Alena and schedule your time. Text 41411 and we can talk. Welcome back to 30-Minute Moments. And oh, guess what it is? The shift. My favorite part, that aha moment, that pivotal moment. And you know what? Those pivotal moments, we talk like it's something so giant big. But sometimes it's the little things that are very pivotal. It's like an, oh, that's what it's like. And it changes your life. So, okay, I'm going to tell you an aha moment I had recently that has changed the whole direction I am. And I'm so happy about it. But boy, it was not an easy change. That's another thing. You think you have an aha moment. Oh, I got this awakening. I'm on my way. Sometimes it's not that easy, but you know it's the route you need to go. And I had Savvy Sisterhood. Everyone knows Savvy Sisterhood. This is a group I had online. It was for women to grow and share and be women. And we would talk about all sorts of mindset issues and just fun stuff. But then all of a sudden, I did some speaking out west. And when I was out there, I was speaking on New Vision Leadership. And after each one, I spoke 3 times at 3 different events. And each time when I got off, I was asked by 1 to 3 people, hey, Alena, we talk a little bit more about spirituality? And I said, really? I didn't talk about spirituality. Oh, yeah, you did. It was all over the place. I said, seriously? And that was that aha moment. Why am I talking about spirituality when I'm supposed to be talking mindset? So then I went back to my classes online with Savvy Sisterhood, and I said, you guys, do we talk a lot of mindset or do I talk spirituality? Because now I'm getting curious. And they said, oh, Alena, you're always talking spirituality. Seriously? So then I said, now what is going on? Now, you would think if everyone is saying, Alena, you're already talking spirituality, I'd have no problem with this transformation. Well, I did. I had a problem with it. I had shame wrapped up into it. When I was a little girl, I was very religious. I think I've told you this before. I was the little girl that walked myself to church. But you know what? I went to a Catholic school, and the nuns did not get me in the least. And one nun did, but she ended up not becoming a nun, and I think she had 6 children, and and she's the only nun that ever understood me. Well, there you go. But all the other nuns were just, I was a very free spirit in a lot of ways, with a little bit of science in there. I loved science, so I was kind of a weird free spirit. And the nuns did not help me, nor did my mother. And I came home and I was reading about the saints. I was reading about all this religious life. And I was my own teacher in a lot of ways. And people were not, that was not to be brought out. And then when I was working as a musician in all the churches, I again I always found God. I said that earlier. I always found God. But yet I wasn't sure that me bringing it out would be accepted because it never had been. And then when I visited my mentor, Bob Proctor, when I brought it up to him, he said, oh, no, don't go there. Too many people and it's no money in that. Don't go there. And that nailed the coffin shut. So this past summer, it took me the summer before this, it took me about 3 months where I really had to contemplate this. I had to think it through. This was not an easy aha moment, but I'll tell you what, when you get those aha moments, those journeys, and once you get the realization, you can't let it go if you really allow yourself to take that step. And so I needed to find out what in me was not accepting this. And when I did find out, then I unblocked it. I just said, okay, I'm letting you go. I don't need that block. And now I have Soul Manifesto. And we've changed Savvy Sisterhood into Soul Manifesto. And doors have just started to open like crazy because of it. Because people they want to grow spiritually all this time. The people who were coming to me didn't even want the mindset. They wanted the spirituality to begin with. I find that so amazing. It's like the universe knows before you where your journey is going. Isn't that interesting? That's a concept to talk about right there. But that was my latest aha moment. And I'll tell you, if you're not listening to your aha moments, you'll find that the same aha moment is coming over and over. There's a reason for that, because it is something you need to look at. But most of all, I hope you got gems that you can carry through this week and have that ease and betterment always. I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and with that, namaste.
This has been 30-Minute Moments featuring Alena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now at wowo.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.